We're talking about the job descriptions of your money that I've never heard before. You mentioned in the last block, Sam, tax risks. What in the world does that even mean?
Well, I think that the most important thing about tax risk is that it's real, okay? A lot of people, when they first start working, they are encouraged to participate in their 401k and to save, and they should, right? Thank goodness for 401ks, because if most people did not have that out of sight, out of mind mentality for investing, they'd have nothing. They'd have nothing. So I'm very grateful for 401ks. But what you need to understand about the 401k is that it's not all yours.
It's Uncle Sam's, right?
It's a joint account.
Yeah. It might be called an individual retirement account, but it's a joint account with the IRS. And so it's important that when you are saving that retirement account and you're looking at it, and we have clients that come to us and they say, I know what the number needs to be. I know that when it hits 2 million or when it hits 1 million, that's my I'm okay to retire account. But the problem is that that $1 million retirement account is technically maybe a $700,000 retirement account, maybe $750,000, because there's still taxes that are due on those dollars.
Here's the interesting thing. You know, when you're putting money away into those accounts, you cannot touch it until 59 and a half, right? Okay. From 59 and a half until what used to be 70 and a half, and they just pushed that out to 72. That is your free window to do with whatever you want with that money. You can take it, you don't have to take it, you can kick the can down the road, whatever you want. And it's interesting because in all the years that I've been doing this, when the clients are putting the money away, they're asking all the time, when can I access that money? When can I access that money? And then when they finally hit 59, 60 years old, and I say, okay, you can access that money, they say, I don't want it.
Really?
You know why?
They don't want to pay the taxes?
They don't want to pay the taxes.
But isn't it better to pay taxes now when it's a smaller amount than a later amount?
Well, you've got your information correct. and that is truly where we will help each and every caller with what's called a tax burden analysis. We're going to help you figure out the difference between paying now or paying later. Here's the thing. If you retire with $500,000 in an IRA, and let's just say you take what many Americans want, because nobody wants to pay the tax any sooner than they have to, right? I'm going to defer that as long as I can. So you defer that till 72. From 72 until 90, in this tax burden analysis, I'm sorry, they kick you off at 90, the amount of taxes that you will pay will, on that $500,000 account, will be over $400,000. Shocking. You paid a little bit a year. It didn't feel like a lot. Now, in this analysis, we will do a comparison and say, if we did a Roth conversion on that $500,000 over 5 years, we're not going to do it all at once. But if we took $100,000 a year out of that $500,000 account, let's just say 25% tax, you're going to pay $25,000 each year in taxes. Nobody ever wants to write a check for $25,000.
Right.
But we call this scenario ripping off a Band-Aid versus death by 1,000 paper cuts.
You ladies. Okay, you need to write a book. Have you written a book yet?
We're working on it.
Okay, you really do. You have the best quotes and it's easy to remember and understand.
Yes, but it's true. You know, writing a check for $25,000 is painful, but is writing a check for $400,000 more painful?
Absolutely.
Like, would you rather do 125 cumulatively or 400? And that's exactly what this tax burden analysis will show you. I don't know what the balance in those of you that are watching right now, I don't know what the balance in your accounts are, but we'll put it into this formula. We will do this analysis and we will show you if we do it over 5 years, if we do it over your lifetime. And the choice is yours. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The difference between $125,000 and $400,000 is discretionary taxes.
What do you mean?
You got the choice to pay it. You got the choice to pay it. Nobody's forcing you to kick the can down the road. You chose to pay $400,000 over your lifetime versus paying $125,000 today.
And know that it's done.
Well, and
not have to worry about it when you're 90 years old going, oh, wait, I got a big giant bill.
Or leaving your children with all that money.
Here's some money, but you got to pay on it.
But think about it. I mean, the tax burden analysis has you die at 90, I'm sorry. But what if you live till 95?
Or 100?
That's still 5 more years of continuing to pay taxes. If you do a conversion, then the taxes are paid. And if that account grows, it can grow 100% tax-free.
And that's not taxed.
All the growth
so you pay it up
is
front, it can grow. If we have a great 5 years,
exactly.
and then it's not taxed again.
It's not taxed again. What if you don't want the money? Well, with the IRA, you're required to take it at 72.
RMDs.
But with the Roth IRA, if you don't want it, you don't have to take it. And then that gives you permission to decide how it gets distributed. With your legacy plan, does that go to your heirs? Does that go to your family? Does it go to a charity of
that
your choice?
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you've already taken care of the tax, and now that's just a benefit. Now the asset is fully available for you.
Last week we were talking a lot about Social Security. I know we're almost out of time again. It goes by so quickly with y'all. You said something that really blew my mind, Karen, and I thought about a lot. You could take your Social Security, put it into an investment or a Roth IRA that's not taxed. It's so brilliant. Well, explain again.
Let me clarify that, because I don't want there to be any confusion. You can't take your Social Security and put it into a Roth.
But I mean, the money that you...
But many people don't do the Roth conversion because they're trying to say, where am I going to get the money for the tax? And so what we've suggested to a number of individuals, if you don't want the Social Security anyway, let's let the government pay the tax on that Roth conversion.
Gotcha.
So if I know that I'm going to have $20,000 of Social Security, net after tax, that's, let's say, $15,000.
Okay.
I'm going to take $15,000, divide by whatever the tax is, and if I can convert $60,000 or $70,000 or $80,000 from my IRA to a Roth and send that $15,000 check back to the IRS, they paid the taxes, and now I get to have a converted IRA in a Roth that gets to grow tax-free forevermore.
I mean, that's amazing. I've literally never even heard of, and I've read a lot about this, done a lot of these shows. What do you think is the biggest risk right now for people? And we only have a minute left. What's the biggest worry that you have for people who don't have a plan?
I think it's the fear of the unexpected. Listen, to get to your destination, you've got to have some kind of a plan in place. And it honestly starts with a conversation. You know, we started the episode talking about my background. I was a communications sociology double major. I went to school to be able to listen to our clients. I went to school to hear what their fears are. Because maybe longevity doesn't live in your family. Maybe you're not worried about living a long time, but you are terrified of the market. We want to help you take the risk of the market off the table. Maybe you're worried about where taxes are going to be in the future. We want to make sure that your tax burden is as small as possible over your lifetime.
If you call the number that you see on the screen, 855-348-3073, we can start that conversation with you. We promise to listen, and we promise that you will get a copy of our retirement roadmap. That will include a Social Security analysis. That will include a tax burden analysis. That will include your very own personalized GPS. You know, the problem with a lot of advisors is they have 40-page reports. This is a single-page snapshot of exactly where you are so that we can help you.
Fantastic. Thank you again, ladies. Always learn so much from you. There's also a QR code there that you can take your phone and aim your camera on it, and they'll bring you right to our website. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.